Arguably, the biggest advantage for the Chiefs is that Chris Jones will be taking on a middling Steelers interior offensive line that definitely has talent, but is brought down a bit by Mason McCormick, as McCormick is pretty good for a rookie, but not great overall. And if you're going against Chris Jones, who is a total star in this league, maybe the best defensive tackle in football, and spoiler alert, if he's not the best defensive tackle in football, it's because somebody else in this video is. I wonder who it could be. Anyways, Chris Jones is more than likely going to have success because he generally does, and because this is a good matchup for him as well. Speaking of advantages for the Chiefs' pass rush, they have a solid George Karlaftis, otherwise known as the Greek Freak, against a very poor Broderick Jones. He teeters on being poor and terrible, so he's not a very reliable tackle. And Karlaftis is certainly not elite, but is not to be played with, as he is very powerful and has good technique with his hands in particular, good hand usage, as it's more commonly referred to. So Karlaftis is probably going to have some success as well. The final advantage for the Chiefs defense is that they have a good matchup for George Pickens, which is so essential when going against the Steelers because Pickens is the lifeblood of this offense. Pickens is a quality receiver, and he's going against a great Trent McDuffie. So there is a little bit of an advantage there for the Chiefs. Pickens is no doubt a top 20 receiver, but McDuffie is, I would say at worst, like the fifth best corner in this league. So that's pretty advantageous for the Chiefs. And that is something that can definitely sway this game. If McDuffie does well, he's going to really give the Chiefs a chance. If he struggles, that's going to favor the Steelers quite a bit. Shifting to the offense now, we have a sound DeAndre Hopkins versus a below average Dante Jackson. Jackson is like Broderick Jones in that he is maybe terrible, but he is in this video labeled as below average based on his percentile for his coverage grade from PFF. So he is somewhat viable. He should probably be more of a third best corner on your team and not be arguably your best, which he's going to be for this game. But he is what he is. He's very athletic. He can make plays on balls, which is a funny saying. The final advantage for the Chiefs is that they have an above average Travis Kelce, which is so weird to say that Kelce is just above average. I'm used to saying the best tight end, maybe the second best with him, but no, he's just above average at this point. And maybe he turns back time a bit come playoff time, but if he doesn't do that, that's really going to be an issue for the Chiefs. Either way, Kelsey is going against a lacking Patrick Queen. Queen has not been a very prominent contributor for the Steelers since signing his massive deal. And that's very disappointing because he definitely has the potential to be a great linebacker. And maybe it's just him getting used to the new system where he's taking a year to get immersed in it, but it seems like every other linebacker, be it on ball or off ball, is really getting into a groove, and then Queen is simply not. Elandon Roberts, he is not playing much. He's only really playing in rundowns, so I guess that's part of why he's playing so well. He's playing in the specialty of his, but he's having great success. So too is Peyton Wilson, who is a rookie and is kind of taking the league by storm. He's one of the best coverage linebackers in all of football. I love me some Peyton Wilson. I was high on him coming out of, I think it was North Carolina State. I might be wrong on that, but he was somebody I was high on in the draft. I'm so high on him, I forgot what college he went to, but trust me, I liked him. As we shift now to the Steelers, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you like and subscribe for more football content. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Calvin Austin, he is going to be a advantage for the Steelers. That's right, I said it. Austin might be roughly average, but he's going against a question mark in Christian Roland Wallace, who is a rookie with basically no experience. So Roland Wallace is somebody that could be good, but is more than likely going to struggle at least early on, as he was an undrafted free agent, and he is at a position that typically doesn't do very well initially, cornerback that is, of course, especially as a nickel cornerback where you're tasked with so many responsibilities. It could really be difficult for him. Speaking of being difficult, though, the Steelers have just one advantage on offense. So let's see how many they have on defense. To start off, you're going to be surprised by this one. TJ Watt is a plus for the Steelers. I know you never saw it coming, but it is the case. He is a stud, and he's going against an above average Jawan Taylor, who is really good as a pass protector, especially when he can be false starting like 2 seconds before the snap, maybe 3. He gets an early jump on basically every snap. It's pretty hilarious. And he also still gets called for it from time to time. And he also will get called for a hold every now and again. So that mixed with TJ Watt being such a stud is a bit dangerous for the Chiefs. What's also dangerous is that Cam Hayward is an absolute gem, and he's going against a good interior offensive line, but one that he's capable of having success with. Trey Smith is a good pass protector. He's not elite in that regard. And Creed Humphrey, he might just be the best center in all of football. There's at least 2, no, I'd say at least 3, because you got Frank Ragnow, you got Creed Humphrey, and you have Tyler Linderbaum. Those are all vying for the best center in the league praise, and they all deserve it. They're all fantastic players. Either way, Humphrey is very good, and we'll give Hayward all he can handle because Humphrey might just be the best pass blocking center as well. They're not always mutually exclusive. Like, you can be the best center and be the 8th best pass protector. He's not. He's maybe the best pass protector as well. And shifting to the other defensive tackle, by the way, Hayward was the defensive tackle that may be the best defensive tackle in football, if that wasn't clear. The other defensive tackle for the Steelers, though, Keanu Benton, I did not see him contributing like this at any point in his career, just because I was not aware of how good he is coming out of college. And he is a real star coming out of Wisconsin. just a pipeline for the Steelers with Nick Herbig, TJ Watt, maybe just those guys. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but maybe I'm insane. Either way, the matchup of Benton versus a meh interior offensive line. The reason it's meh is because Mike Caliendo is the guard that will be taking on Benton, and it'll be Caliendo, I would say, a lot of times one-on-one with Benton, either through Cam just being double-teamed or the Steelers blitzing 5 and giving Benton that matchup advantage. So it's going to be advantageous for the Steelers' defensive line, even with the Chiefs' offensive line being fantastic. Another advantage for the Steelers, being their final one, is very brief, but it is one that I stress a bit more than I normally would. They have home field advantage. It matters a little bit more for the Steelers because they play Renegade, and that's something that other teams just simply do not do. Moreover, the Steelers have great fans. I will be one of them, as I'm blessed with getting a ticket to this game, which is very exciting to see the Steelers have a meaningful December game, which they oftentimes do, but this is one that isn't just for playoffs, it's for playoff seeding. So where do I lean on this game? Well, if you can count, which I oftentimes cannot, so I understand if you can't, the advantages are exactly the same. The Steelers have 5, and the Chiefs also have 5. If you heard a clicking sound, it was my mouse. I was clicking over to make sure I counted correctly. So, yes, the Steelers have the same amount of advantages as the Chiefs do. And I can honestly see it. I think that the Chiefs are the safer pick here. So, if you want to be safe, you can roll with the Chiefs. But I will not be safe. I will be rolling with the Steelers. I think the biggest thing that comes to mind for me is that I just keep circling back to the fact that the Steelers are the best team at defending mobile quarterbacks in the league. There's a specific stat for that. I forget exactly how it's phrased, but they defend, I think, rollouts and scrambles the best out of any team in the league. They defend Lamar Jackson very well. Lamar, he's playing better than Mahomes this year. You didn't hear it from me, but that's true. And he is just so slippery to defend. So is Mahomes. Obviously, Mahomes is obviously in that same caliber of quarterback. So, yeah, that is where I keep circling back to, though. And with that said, I think they can have some success on offense, too, because I think Pickens can have some good plays against McDuffie. McDuffie is giving up a bunch of height, so that's going to be advantageous for the Steelers on both sides of the ball. Those are my thoughts on the game. Be sure to let me know what yours are in the comment section. And also be sure to like and subscribe for more football content.